All right, guys, got a next topic we got to get to. It is brought to us by BetterHelp. Workplace stress is at an all-time high. 61% of the global workforce is reporting higher than normal stress levels, and this summer is the perfect time to take small steps back to focus on your wellness and manage the challenges that come with your workday. Of course, most of us can't just quit our job or take endless PTO, but we can start small, whether it's getting outside for a few minutes, adding movement to your day, or talking to someone who can help navigate life's challenges. That's where BetterHelp comes in. Therapy can help set healthy boundaries at work so stress doesn't spill over into the rest of your life. And BetterHelp is the largest online therapy provider in the world. I mean, they can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/lockedon. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedon. Jay, you weren't here last week when the Quinshon Judkins news came out. I wasn't here last week when the Quinshon Judkins news came out, but I know the guys who were here discussed it at length, except for this one part of the conversation, which is what we're going to do today.
Yeah.
The Browns drafted 2 running backs, just like they drafted 2 quarterbacks. They took Quinshon Judkins in the 2nd round and Dylan Sampson in the 4th round. Sampson, who's been the less talked about back, it's worth mentioning he was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year last year,
which is saying something.
He led the conference with 22 rushing touchdowns, ran for 1,485 yards, ran a 4.4 40-yard dash, and in mock drafts was a guy that some people thought could go much higher, but because the running back class was so loaded, it was a pick your poison. Who do you like better? What kind of preference do you have in a running back? He falls to the Browns in the 2nd round with the 126th overall pick. But with Judkins not being at camp, not expected to be back in camp until his legal issues are settled,
dang,
is there a chance that Dylan Sampson could end up being the Browns' RB1, battling Jerome Ford, and turning into the bell cow back we kind of thought Judkins could be, except he's not, and I'm guessing there's a fly flying around.
Man, that little bastard's been in here for weeks.
Hey, he in here.
I'm going to get him.
He's kicking it, too. He got a whole house.
So, can Dylan Sampson become the back that maybe we thought Judkins was going to be, that 1A option? With his absence, it gives Sampson a hell of an opportunity to show what he can do.
Man, listen, this how things happen in life, man. Somebody's calamity becomes somebody else's opportunity.
Wally Pipp got hurt.
Yeah, listen, you tripped.
Lou Gehrig left the lineup 25 years later.
Sometimes people not listen. That's the thing about life, man. When you're dealing with professionals at that high of a level, you know, Dylan Sampson is a very capable running back. I loved him coming out of Tennessee. You talk about almost this 15. This is an SEC 1,500 yards, 20+ touchdowns. And here's how we work it. They're going to use 2 running backs, right? Think about it like this. And I always say this. Kareem Hunt never made the money that Nick Chubb made. Why? Chubb went in the 2nd round. Chubb's progression was, okay, I'm good. Oh, I'm the best running back in the league. Now, Chubb didn't make the money he probably wanted to. But if you look at it, they're relatively around the same age. Kareem Hunt comes out and plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's electric.
Rookie of the year, wasn't he?
Rookie of the year, led the league in rushing. Yeah. He gets in trouble, bounces around from place to place. And as a running back, it's about the opportunity, right? Chubb and Hunt was a 2-headed monster, right? But if you want to be a 2-headed monster, I want to be the number 1 lead dog. Now, not saying Quinshon Judkins is not going to come back and do nothing, but Dylan Sampson is a guy, is a little more short in stature. But I like the way he runs on the goal line. He's fast. He's a home run hitter. He has some burst. He has an opportunity to come in here and make something out of it. And then when Quinshon Judkins comes back, he got to be the thunder, because it's always thunder and lightning, right? He got to be the dude that's spelling meat. So whether people know it or not, Dylan Sampson is thinking that right now. And his people, his team is telling him, this is your opportunity to show what you can do. And guess what? They might not even play Jerome Ford that much in the preseason, right? Because they probably going to say, we got to have him as our backup because he knows the system, he know what it is. We're not going to wish him get injured. So he's going to get the opportunity to get the carries to show what he can do. So I'm interested in seeing it.
Can he? Absolutely he can. 100%. The guy was the offensive player of the year in one of the toughest conferences in college football. When Nick Chubb came out of Georgia, he wasn't the first Georgia running back taken.
Nope.
Who had the better career?
Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Was Sony Michel?
Yeah,
first
he
back
was
yet?
drafted by the Patriots. And I'm sure that his injury in college probably had something to do with that.
Sure.
But running back is you guys will agree with this. You just can't tell who coming out of Toledo saw Kareem Hunt having the impact that he had.
Yeah.
Nobody. So, and then you can flip it too. You can look at guys that had great careers in college, and it just doesn't translate.
Don't
It doesn't for some reason or another. Trent Richardson was a player of the, I think he was offensive player of the year in the SEC.
was.
He did have a 1,000-yard season with the Browns.
Yeah, but he didn't translate.
No, by and large, he did not translate.
Yeah,
so it's really hard at running back to figure out which guys are going to make it. But could he be RB1? Could he even end up being better than Quinshon Judkins when Judkins hits the field? Wouldn't surprise me.
So it's funny you mentioned that because I was just looking up the list of SEC Offensive Player of the Years to see how does it translate to the NFL. You would think it'd be 100% hit rate, right?
No, you would, but it's not.
Running back, it's really hit and miss. Darren McFadden,
he never-
06 and 07, back-to-back years. Mark Ingram in 09. Richardson in 11. Trey Mason in 2013 from Auburn.
Nothing.
Derrick Henry in 2015, obviously. Kerryon Johnson in 2017.
Nope.
And that was the last running back to win SEC Player of the Year.
Wait, so go through that list. McFadden.
Mcfadden was a hit.
McFadden
He was a hit.
was good.
I mean,
If I had
McFadden
to
was
put him a
good.
hit or a miss,
He
I
was
would put him down as a hit, but he wasn't a sensation.
He always left me wanting more.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So
he was so good at Arkansas. Everyone thought he would be that good at the NFL.
This is the last 20 years. Running backs in the last 20 years to win SEC Offensive Player of the Year is Darren McFadden, Mark Ingram,
Ingram was a hit.
Ingram was a hit too.
Trent Richardson,
Was not.
Miss.
Trey Mason,
Miss.
Miss.
Derrick Henry,
Hit.
Hit.
Kerryon Johnson,
Miss.
Miss.
and that's it.
So it's 3 of 6. So you're hitting 50%, which
Yeah.
is about kind of what you would think.
Now, overall, I would say it's more hits than misses. Overall, SEC Player of the Year, it's a lot of quarterbacks in there. Jaden Daniels, obviously, looks like a pretty good hit.
Was Joe Burrow Player of the Year?
He was.
Yep.
Hendon Hooker, not anything. Bryce Young, Devontae Smith, Burrow,
Smith's a player.
Tua, Kerryon Johnson, Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry, Amari Cooper, Trey Mason, Johnny Manziel, Trent Richardson, Cam Newton. That's back to 2010. Those are
Yeah.
SEC.
I mean, it's sprinkled
Mostly
with
more
hits and
more hits
misses.
than misses.
Yeah.
But at running back, it's a little bit more of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I don't know.
50-50.
I with G, I think the opportunity's in front of him. He's going to have every chance to,
Yes.
to stake a claim to it. His size, I don't know that he'll ever be a guy who's going to run it 18, 20 times a game, but I don't know if the Browns are going to run it 18, 20. How many times do we scream about
We need listen. We're not gonna talk about it. Chubb,
Can't
we
get to
need
20
22
carries.
carries.
We saved Nick Chubb so he can finish his career somewhere else.
Yeah, we did.
Remember? He's on a pitch count.
Left a little
He's on
tread
pitch
on the tires.
We
for
want
those
him to be here
Texans.
for 10 years, 12 years. Okay.
So, but I
Watch
mean,
him tear up the NFL this year.
But could Dylan Sampson get 8 to 10 touches? Not even carries. 8 to 10 touches a game? 100%. Yeah.
Oh, God, I would hope he would.
12 touches a game? Yeah. I think he could do that. I think Jerome Ford's going to be the starting running back to start the year. Yeah. To start the year.
I think, man, it's as much as it pains my heart to say, it just seems like
Unless Sampson just blows the doors
Unless
off
he's gonna be-
everybody,
he's gonna be
which
great.
he might do.
And it's entirely possible.
You get
that
the
he
joint
does that.
practices, and he's the best dude on that field. Yeah, he's going to
He
start.
passes the look test. I
Yeah.
mean, when you watch him, and I know it's just practice and it's limited, but his movement is crisp. He seems powerful. His college tape was incredible. I saw him do things in college that usually translate to the NFL.
I don't know when we're going to see Judkins. I saw Chris Easterling from the Beacon tweeted right when the show started, or I saw the tweet as the show was starting that no court date has even been set yet for Judkins. So,
Is that possible stall tactics, thinking that perhaps there would be a negotiation going on where she drops the charges? Because I've seen that before, where court date lingers. Next thing you know,
this is all conjecture. Who knows? I think it's less likely she's going to backpedal or drop the charges because she waited all of those days and then called.
Yeah.
It's the emotion of the moment when that's what we saw with Mike Hall. the emotion of the moment and everything,
But
and then she recanted
as
later.
you know,
but
sometimes it's a financial incentive.
But I'm saying she had time to think it over and
did.
process,
Yeah.
and she still came to the conclusion
And-
that I want to
And
prosecute.
does the
But she also waited 5 days, which, you know.
I don't. If you read the police report,
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything unusual about how that played out.
When you read it, it played out, and you like, oh, that's very plausible.
It makes a ton of sense
because there was some physical. It was physically. People were able to see, oh, what happened to you, and then she's like, okay, yeah, we should probably tell the authorities about this. For Judkins, I think that's, you look at it when there ain't no court date set. And then they usually, even with the Mike Hall situation, wasn't Mike Hall back at practice like in a couple of days because like
he was back the next day.
So
yeah, I think you're right.
He was back the next day.
So when they said he's not reporting to camp, I said, oh no, that don't look good.
And he's not signed, right?
He's not even under contract.
Yeah, that's
Not signed.
That's so. Listen, yeah, Dylan Sampson's gonna have an opportunity. And by the way, this is another pick in which it can save Andrew Berry a little bit here because people questioned when you took 2 running backs. People questioned that a little bit. They'll say you just took.
Yeah, but in the saving Andrew Berry part, like he also took Judkins.
Yes, right. It's another,
We talked about this last week. I'm not gonna. There's plenty you can ding Andrew Berry for. I can't ding him for that. There was nothing back there. There was nothing in the history to lead to this.
No. I don't blame Andrew Berry for what another grown man did. I agree. When they picked Judkins, there was nothing in his background.
I thought it was a great pick.
I thought it was a great pick.
I'm not going to kill it.
Yeah,
now.
but it felt like it.
But here's the thing.
Ended up not being.
Here's how
for
people be acting, right? So that's cool right now. If the Browns running game sucks,
Yeah.
and Nick
Then it
Chubb,
doesn't matter that there was no history there or not.
and Nick Chubb got about 10 touchdowns,
Oh my God.
and you can't move the ball. I'm just gonna tell you what the human nature is. Ain't nobody gonna be rational. Well, you know what, Andrew Berry, that's kind of being kind of harsh. They're gonna flip out because
because of the body of work.
yes, they're gonna because they're gonna say there's too many people, whether they were not good, whether they were injured, or whether they just flamed out because of issues or problems with the court system, that aren't playing. And so theoretically, the general manager, that falls on his purview, does it not? That's what people are going to say, rightfully or wrongfully. It sucks, but that's why I'm hoping Dylan Sampson is doing something. I hope Dylan Sampson comes out here and balls. By the way, I'm a little nervous about this too. We might want to talk about this throughout. The offensive line, I think, is going to be the key to all of this stuff. I know we say we want to run the football and get back to it, but I ain't never seen nobody that gets older and ratchet up physicality in their life. Yeah. Usually you tail off. You telling Wyatt Teller and Joe Batoni, hey, listen, I know y'all are used to this, but we're going to go back to 2020 when y'all was fighting in phone booths. Like we running power and zone and duo for 15, 16 plays. Trust me, I know it sound good, but is Conklin, Poaches, Teller?
I mean, DeJuan's a much better pass blocker than run blocker.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm like, we haven't talked about the elephant in the room. Is it possible to get more physical as you get older?
Gee, that's a great top. Unless Jason, do you have some thoughts on that real quick?
I would worry more about Batonio because of the back. Yeah. He's had chronic back issues that have seemed to be getting worse. I think Wyatt would be slobbering at what you just said. He would love the idea of that. And he's had some calf issues in the past. He's getting older, but I don't think he's there yet. Like I think Wyatt would be fine. It depends. It depends on the gaps you're running, right? Like Posich wasn't great last year. Was very good 2 years ago. If you're going up the middle, I think with the guards, you worry a little bit about Batonio. The tackle's not as much.
Conklin, by the way, I'm willing to admit. Listen, we talked about Conklin. Y'all signed him to that deal. Without Conklin last year, you'd be out of here.
Where would you be?
Shout out to him because he played
for real.
When he came back. He was solid.
That contract is gone. That's a Kevin Love contract. It's gone like this.
The snake contract, boy. Listen, we like that one.
No, it is definitely panned out well. We got two more topics to get to. Before we get to our next one, a quick reminder that Rougit is an official partner of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. You guys have probably heard of Viagra or Cialis before. Maybe you've even tried them, but if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougit Ready. Rougit Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours, Rougit's 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast, on average just 15 minutes, and effects can last up to 36 hours, so you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right. If traditional options haven't worked, Rougit might be the answer. Over 150,000 men have already made the switch, and it's completely online. Head to Rougit.com/LockedOnNFL and use promo code LockedOnNFL to get 15% off today. That is Rougit, RUGIET.com/LockedOn, and use promo code LockedOnNFL for 15% off.